Right, so welcome to A Touch of Gray Matter. I'm your host, Dave Sokolowski. As always, I'm with Barry 3D Carter and the silver-haired gentleman, Zulf Ali. He is here. Unfortunately, we're missing Thomas Patrice. He's going to be laid to rest on Wednesday because he forgot Valentine's Day with his wife. No, I'm just fucking with you. He's fine, I'm sure. She's probably just going to kick him in the balls and fucking make him wear the ball gag for another week and a half. So, as always, very special thank you to Jay from Jaybird Digital Arts for everything that you do for us, man, from the posters to the overlays to everything you got going on. Our EPK, it's man, I can't thank you enough for all the shit you've done for us, and I will continue to support your business and tell everybody that comes my way. If you're looking for anything, you definitely got to talk to this dude because he will knock your socks off, and it's just fucking phenomenal. So, all right, what do we got going on this week? What's the news? What's
the 411?
What's the word?
Very simple, right? So I like tattoos. I like the art. I like tattoos. I like everything that goes behind it. And I don't have any yet. And I always keep saying to myself, you don't have one either, Azol? You have no tattoos? But I'm saying one day I want one. One day I want a nice one, right? And I've seen some nice ones, but you always got to find yours. Dave, I know you've got tattoos. And he's counting them right now.
I've got 7 on me, and I've got 3 coming up.
Holy crap!
3 coming up. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
And Dave, so they say every tattoo has a story. Is that true?
Pardon me?
They say every tattoo has a story to it.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, back to you, Barry. Thanks, Barry. Back to you, Barry.
The studio. No.
Sorry, did you want me to like expand on that, or you just said? Yeah. I heard every tattoo tells a story. Yeah, it does. Do you want to know the specifics of mine, or like
open-ended question? And it's like, yes, it does. Well, thank you, Dave, and Barry. Back to you, the studio.
All right. Well, no, and we know it has a story behind it, and that's what I got to find. I got to find my story for mine. But what scares me is I see at the times, you see all these shows and whatever, and you're like, it can't be that bad. And then someone just earlier, I think today or yesterday, I saw on my news feed, got a tattoo. Now, they wanted a tattoo, and they brought the picture in of Angelina Jolie as Tomb Raider. Like from the poster. So you got Angelina Jolie's face, got the 2 guns crossed. I'm like, okay, that's wicked. And that's what the guy wanted. And he wanted it up on his upper arm, right? What he got when they wiped it away and everything was said and done, it looked like a 6-year-old drew a picture. There was no depth. It was just very flat. It was so far off. But now it's on there for life. It's permanent. There's no getting away with it. First, I know I got a bad tattoo. Sorry, go on, Dave.
No, I was going to say, so this was the first one that he went in and got, right?
Yes.
So it might just be the first session. It's not necessarily completed.
Well, the color was all added. It was, I'm an amateur artist, right? And I can draw a better tattoo than this person got in the end. I'll share the picture within our group chat, but
yes, please do it. Let me know so that I can check it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, you know why? So the thing is, Barry.
That would be a fucking first.
So Barry, like you, I'm a big tattoo freak as well, and I've seen tons of those shows. But I know in the beginning, and Dave, because he's got a tattoo, he could probably justify what I'm going to say next. They actually put an ink print before of what it's supposed to look like, and they do that ink print so just to make sure, hey, this is the way you want it looking, and you have to. And look, if you're going to pay cheap dollars, you're going to get cheap stuff. Some of these facial ones where you have to have like a face like properly designed in with the shadows and shading, and they're normally pretty darkened out. like not colored, they are really expensive tattoos.
Yes.
So for your saying, if this guy got it done without him knowing, and I know they do the print before, like I've seen tons of
right.
They always show, they take that print off like a carbon copy, saying this is where it's gonna look like. If you don't want it, you want to try on your leg. This, so I'm sure they must have done that. So if they couldn't copy paste that, that's a bad tattoo artist. Dave, over to you. Back to you, Dave.
Well, but that's why I was asking if it was like only the one session, because so this one here on me, right,
which is beautiful. I like that one. I like the line work.
That was 3 sessions.
Right. Okay.
Right. So the outline was done on one.
Okay.
And then we had to do. It was covering up an older tattoo, right? So you somewhat still see it in here, not from this distance, but when you look at it in real life, you can. And then all the other stuff was done at like 2 different times. So that's why I'm saying, is it because like it might just be the outline done? Yes, there might still be color done, but it's not necessarily.
I sent over the video that was on YouTube.
I'm looking at it right now.
Right. He's looking at it right now.
So am I.
Yeah, for those at home, okay, you can actually see it here on my screen.
Yeah, like how his face just looks terrified, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, if you see it that bad from
Yo,
the outline,
that doesn't
why'd
look
you
like
continue?
Angelina Jolie, bro.
Right, but if it's that bad, why continue? Like, as you put it, you got to get an outline. So why?
That doesn't look.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, I don't think that's real.
It can't be real.
I mean, like you can tell. Well, no, you can't. I mean, like seriously, because even where the bottom of the face is, it doesn't look like it's completed lines.
Yeah, it's like it looks.
You know what I mean? Like it looks like there's. Yeah, it's like he was almost
like Michael Jackson holding 2 guns.
You know, and I said
that's a different tomb he's raiding.
But that's the scary thing for me. It's like, and I get what you're saying, because first they have to do it on paper, and then they have to do it, and then trace it, and they put it on you, and then they go over and do it. If you're not, and that's what kills me, is like people sometimes want to make themselves the victim. If you know the tattoo doesn't look pretty on paper, it ain't gonna look pretty on you. Yeah. Why go ahead and do it? Right? Like,
well, not even that. It's so. Yeah, you'll go in with an idea. You'll say, "This is what I want," right? And I mean, like this one here, it's very simple. It's just like the Riddler question mark, right?
Yes.
And I went in. I just said, "I want the Riddler question mark," and the guy was good because he looked at me and he said, "Which one?"
Nice. Okay.
So he knows that there was different versions of it, and I was like, "Okay, well, this is the one I want." He's like, "Okay, cool." But there's other, like some of my other tattoos, like the one on my back is my family crest, the Scottish side.
Okay.
Right? This is Mjolnir with the square and compass.
Right.
Right? And the skull in the middle of it is, for the widow's sons. This one here is Blues Traveler, because I really liked the band and figured, let's get this, because when I was 17, seemed like a good fucking idea at the time. Much like the one that I had on this shoulder, was the anarchy symbol in the yin and yang. Right? And when I was 16, I thought this is a good idea. It's the old Nietzsche quote from through chaos you will find peace.
Right.
But 30 years later, I'm like, well, I've had enough with the chaos. Let's, cover it up. And I'm going to cover up this one now, too, with the new Ton of Fun logo with the new Smoky Gorilla.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one. I've got the comedy and tragedy masks on my leg, right? But I didn't want just the regular comedy and tragedy masks. I was like, well, I kind of want to do it like I had a couple of ideas. I was thinking either having it as Chaplin, like the Charlie Chaplin's faces.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's a good.
But what I decided, because I went to shameless plug here. I went to Hollywood Homicide at Skintricate in Streetsville, and we were talking and whatnot. And I was looking through his book, and he had a really nice picture of Batman. And I was like, "Ooh, that's really nice." And then it clicked, and I went, "How about we split that right in half, and we do Batman on one side and Joker on the other?" So it's a comedy and tragedy, and it has two different ways of looking at it, because the tragedy could be Batman, and comedy is Joker, because he's, constantly got that smile. And he did it, and he drew it up for me and everything else. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a good decision. So we put it on, it's on my leg and everything else. But yeah, it's one of those things where you go with the idea, they'll work with you. They'll say, okay, well, give me a couple of weeks. I'll come up with something. You come back in, you talk about it some more. They'll show you what they've got. And then it's up to you going yes or no. And all they do is they take that drawing that you agreed to, and they'll put it into like a stencil. And then they put the stencil on wherever you're getting tattooed, so you can see how it's going to fit on that body part. Right? And then from there, once you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm good with that. Then all they do is trace. And then like the shading and the coloring and that, it all comes in after you get the initial outline done. But that tattoo there looks nothing like it. Like if he agreed to that, that's on him.
Right, and that's my point. I mean, people say they got bad tattoos. Now, when you see people saying get bad tattoos, it's usually because they are at home and one friend says, "Hey, you know what? I've been seeing it, and I can do it. Do it yourself. I can tattoo you." And it's almost like a prison tat where some guy's getting ink and they're doing it after having a couple of beers, and next thing you know, it's like, "Yeah, man, it looks good." And then you look at it going, "What the hell?" Right? It's always see a professional. Like always hire a professional comedian instead of just some guy off the street. Hello. So, but there's people that say they go to tattoo shops and they get bad tattoos. So is there a way to properly check and vet who you should go to? I mean, once again, not everyone that thinks they're funny is a comedian.
I think you should speak to people like Dave One, who's got a tattoo done already, and he's got some recommendations of somebody who he's worked with that done a phenomenal job that he's happy with, right? I think you have to speak to people who've got tattoos and then find out. And I'm sure there's a couple of guys in every circle, right, who can recommend somebody. And that's just it. 90% of the work is, I went to this person, they did a great job. I could show them the work, right? I can show them the ones, like I had Hollywood do the Batman and Joker on my leg and the crest on my back. When it came time to get Mjolnir done, right, I was going to go to one that Em went to, because she got a couple of tattoos done from this guy down in Oakville. And he was like, yeah, no, I got a couple of great ideas. So I'm like, okay, cool. He goes, give me a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back in, book the appointment to come back in and talk to him and that. He had absolutely fuck all done. And he had no concept of what I was looking at. And I even gave him a picture of what I wanted. Right? Like the square and compass, Mjolnir, the whole 9 yards. All I did was reverse it.
Got it.
Right?
So in your case, you use common sense.
Right. He could not fucking get it done. But he kept saying, yeah, I can do it. And I was like, after the second meeting, I was like, yeah, no, you can't, and you're not fucking going to.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately after leaving him, I contact Skin Kit in Streetsville again. I'm like, hey, does Hollywood have any time? Well, he's gone away for this show and this show and this show, and he won't be back for a while. I'm like, okay, well, great. I go, is there anybody else I can talk to? And they're like, yeah, Mike's here. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll talk to Mike. Go in, talk to Mike. I'm like, I want this one covered up, and this is what I want. And as soon as he saw the picture, he was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be fun. It's going to cost you about $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a week. I'll have something for you. Week later, my phone buzzes. I look at it. I open it up. I look at the message, and I'm like, yeah. And it's what's on my arm now.
Right.
You know.
And I get that. And you see that there, as I said, you use common sense. You went to the guy twice. He didn't have nothing. You walked away. But I feel that a lot of times people feel that if they said, oh, I got something. And then even if they rush it at the end, even if they don't have the concept, they're like, well, I'm going to go through it anyways because I've kind of gone a couple of meetings with this person.
No, Barry, this is going to be on your body for the rest of your life.
I get that.
Bad decision.
No, but I get that. But I mean, I don't know if people feel pressured or, let's put it this way. You reach out like, hey, man, I want you to do this for me. Okay, no problem. And you do it? Yeah. First meeting, okay, I don't have it yet, but come back and see me. And they go back and see you, you're like, Now, inside, it's not what you want. But
walk away. You walk away. Look like Dave shared, right? Like he had that yin and yang, and then he's like, okay, it's time for me to cover this up and move on from the chaos. So although when you made that decision, you said, Dave, you said you were 16, 17, good 20 years of his life, he decided to keep it. And then he's like, oh, I need a little change. Cover it up. There's so many times.
But not only that, too. So that tattoo, this one, and the original Smokey that I have on my leg, It was done by a guy who literally wanted to start off in the business, right, and start doing tattoos. And he was like, I'll do them for free. Okay. And at the time, I was kind of like, free tattoos, might as well.
It fits the budget.
Right? I mean, like,
it's the budget.
Definitely, if it's, so this one here is 33, 34 years old.
Okay.
Dave, I can't see. What is that?
It's literally just a cat smoking a joint wearing sunglasses.
Okay, it looks like Pink Panther.
It looks exactly what you think it would be.
Okay, so here's a question. Here's a follow-up question. Do you go back after like a certain time to get it
touched up?
Touched up, I guess, yeah.
On the ones that I originally had, like the yin and yang one, smoking on my leg, and this one, I've never gone back to get it touched up. On the Mjolnir, the Riddler, Batman and Joker, and the Family Crest, I've never had to go get it retouched up. Like they've all come out looking exactly the way I wanted them. Mm-hmm. And I think mostly because like over the years everything's really changed as well.
Right.
Like when I first got them, like 30 some odd years ago, like the healing process took forever. Mm-hmm. Whereas now it seems like, with the creams and everything else that they have, you start scabbing up and whatnot, you put the cream on, you take a couple of showers, and then like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, it's done.
Right.
Whereas like for this one here, I remember it was like 2 or 3 weeks in and it was still scabbing up, and, and at the time I was working the door, so I'd get into a fight and so, somebody would like pull my arm or whatever. It's like ripping pieces off. And it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered going back to get it fixed. Like that's how every tattoo has a story. So when I look at this one, I know that, well, this was, took fucking forever to heal. Right. But with the one on my arm here with Mjolnir, like within 2 weeks, it was done.
Done, good to go.
Like it wasn't a big like, scabbing process or whatever else. It was relatively quickly, and the right amount of the cream and the oil, everything was fine with it.
See, but that's why I said it's like people get bad tattoos, or you hear people saying they got bad tattoos, and you know, be it if it's the line work, be it if it's the colors, you know, and then they complain about it, but they know ahead of time because you see what it's going to look like, and when you watch things like you know, those old shows. I mean, I know the reality shows, not Ink Masters. Another one there was like whatever, it was fixing tattoos. It was like 3 people.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. There's one on Netflix like that. It's crazy, that one.
Right, and it was one that used to show on Paramount TV, whatever. Right, they used to run that commercial all the time. You know, with Big Gus, it was another black girl, and this guy Mike, and it's like, oh, dude, sick, and it's like, you know, he passed out in the chair. And I'm like, okay, I know that's ramped up for TV, but you come in there and you see some of the tattoos they got, and you're like, why would you get that? You know, and then you hear him, it's like, well, you know, we're sitting around, and one of my buddies said I can do it, and you got a big pen and got the ink, and I'm like, did that seem like a good idea at any point to you?
At that time, yes.
Ever.
I can tell you right now, and this goes for anybody out there that's thinking about getting a tattoo. I'm just letting you know. As soon as you get one, you want another one. They are fucking addictive. And it doesn't matter. I mean, like, I've, you know, like on my Mjolnir one, I sat for, I think all in all, it was like almost 8 hours.
Right.
Like couple of 4-hour sessions in that. Was it? Yeah, it was. And then the third one, we just came back in to see if we needed touch-ups, and nothing was needed. But like for 4 hours,
damn,
you can't move.
Oh, like Zoe from the window when he freezes.
Yeah, like that. Trying to perfect his resting day face, which we know we can't fucking do. Right? And not only that, too, you also got to remember where you're getting it. Right? Because if you're going to get it put into, like, going into here, or like how this one is, like, it's just starting to go in under the arm. Right?
Right, I see that there. And I
like
see that
that is,
I've seen it before on you.
That is like a really, really painful spot. And we've lost Zulf.
He really did freeze. Well, keep on going, man. It's, you know, he gets back in. Got it. But yeah, that was my whole thing, is just about tattoos and seeing, because I mean, I do appreciate them. And I know a lot of people say, obviously, 1, there's a story behind them, and 2, you can never have one. It's like a Lay's chip. You always have to have another one. I was always kind of debating it. I see tattoos. You see some that are very generic. I always make jokes about people that have like different languages on them that they don't, you know. So when you, like, I don't want to walk around with an Asian symbol on me. Not that I have anything wrong with it. I just don't want some guy to think, yeah, I wanted to say happiness, and it's go, oh, we go make it say asshole. You know what I mean? And then, but one person's tattoo that really stood out when he got it was Dwayne Johnson, when he got the whole tribal tattoo done. You know, so not the one that's the bull. He's out, huh? Not the one that he's the bull, but the one where it's it's on his chest.
Yeah.
Shoulder.
Him, Roman Reigns, like all the Samoans have usually.
Yeah. When he came up with that one, and I saw that the first time, I was like, that is amazing. You know, even though it just looked like squares, but it was arranged so nicely, and each part had a meaning behind it. For his family, you know, his history.
Oh, goody. Fuckface is back.
So that's really what got my interest back into looking at it, going, oh, that's something different. Because most of the time coming up, I'm seeing people with, you know, I said the Chinese lettering on their body. And I get that. And then, you know, the roses, and I'm not knocking those that have it, you know, but I wanted something really to stand out. And when I saw it, The Rock's tattoo, like Dwayne's tattoo, I was like, that's awesome. But then again, how I don't have Dwayne Johnson money. And do I have Dwayne Johnson patience and pain tolerance?
Well, and that's the thing. So if you go in and you talk to them, and because you're not paying for it all up at once, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like you'll pay for the sessions depending on how it is.
Oh, okay.
Right. So this one, Mueller was quoted to me for anywhere between $800 to $1,000. $800 to $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost me just over $8 when all was said and done.
Right.
And that's including tip.
Okay. Yeah, because you were saying it didn't need that last session. You went in there, you didn't need anything, so therefore you just kind of paid for the sessions. You went, right, I gotcha. Okay.
I like Barry how you said you don't have the Rock's patience, the money, but you forgot the body.
Yo, I got mirrors, man, and I got imagination. I see what I look like, but I imagine
like,
how I really
I don't have
look
his patience. I don't have his money. I was like, body? You're missing the body? Whoa!
As there's some people in Ottawa that identify as peace officers. Barry identifies as Rock.
That's right. Can you smell?
No, there's, and I'm not, well, I am promoting them, but it's not a paid promotion in any way, shape, or form. There's definitely 3 tattoo places that I would trust. Mm-hmm. And I would always go to first to say, hey, if you have time, this is what I'm looking for. 2 of them are in Streetsville, which is Skintricate and Malefic Tattoos. And the third one is in Milton. It's called the Black Vatican.
Right.
And they do, like, all 3 places do phenomenal work, and they are really good at what they do. You know, they're clean shops, they're good, they're honest, they'll tell you flat out, yes, this will work for you. You know, yes, we can do this one, but it's going to be this. Mm-hmm. Yes, you want the full sleeve, we can do it. It's going to be 8 sessions at 3 hours each.
Right.
You know, and it's $150 an hour or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Right. So, like, they will tell you up front what it is, and there won't be any surprise fees, like, later on. And, you know, none of that, like, oh my God, it's horrible tattoos. No, like, they do good work, and, you know, they're phenomenal. It all depends on what you want.
How painful is it?
It varies, because as I was saying to Barry, when you forgot to pay your fucking internet bill. So on this one here, right? You see how here's like right in, like almost going into the underarm?
Yeah.
Right? Like here, hurt like fucking hell. Right? In here, it would hurt like hell. On the bone, you'll feel it. Right? But it all depends on your pain tolerance. Like, I know people that have tattoos right in their underarm.
Yeah.
Oh, like I've seen those tribals, yeah, the barbed wires and all that shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Zolf, let's be real, man. My name is Barry. You come straight with a shirt saying straight out of Burlington. We would need boxes of Kleenex.
Bro, I need like one of those sticks in my mouth, like, oh.
Get the popsicle sticks.
Just, you know what, to start off, get something small. Get something just, you know, the outline of something that you want.
Yo, does TP have tattoos? I'm sure he does.
No, not that I know.
No,
probably not. I don't think his wife will let him.
He could tattoo himself as a Valentine's Day gift.
I'll bet you right now that's what that fucker's dressed up as. He's dressed up as Cupid. Actual size.
Stop it. I'm picturing it. No, can't you picture
He's got the adult depends on. He's got the bow and arrow. He's got the little wings.
I'm your chocolate bunny. Sorry, that episode was on earlier today from King of the Hill.
You're just somebody that I used to know.
Bobby Hill, man. I'm your chocolate bunny. Oh man, I'm so happy that show's coming back.
That's funny. And the best part is he'll never know because he doesn't watch these fucking shows. So
damn.
No, but seriously, if you guys are looking at
and all that, walking away.
the heart-shaped, adult
His
diaper.
kid's holding him up with the rope. He's trying to fly.
Dad, you say I get $20 for this, right?
So as I was saying, if you guys are looking for a tattoo artist, think of something like that you want. Like, what is it that you want? What are you looking for? Do you know yet? Do you have a concept?
That's the thing. I keep changing my mind, right? So that's the problem, is that because I keep changing my mind, I don't want to get something, and then the first, let's say a couple of months, I love it, and then after a while, I was like, maybe I should have done this, and that's what it is. Like I don't give it.
That's when you go back and you get the next one.
And then Barry's got a full out sleeve all across the back, and it's like,
I don't see what the fucking problem is. I'm just saying, Zolf, do you have an idea for a tattoo?
I was thinking like motorbikes, and then I was like, nah. Then I was thinking about like the mic stand for the stand-up mic that we use, and I was like, nah, that's like so cliche. But I was like, whatever. And then I just let it go.
The one that I've always liked was that it's the heartbeat line.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it has
Cross Rocket made on it.
Well, it depends on whatever bike you want. They can do it into, right? But it'll start like beeping, and then it goes into a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Or it's like it's one up and then like 5 down into a motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So I mean, but that's the thing, though. I mean, that's why when I said I've got 7 now, but I've got 3 coming up.
Right.
Because I know I'm going to get the new Smoky one done, so I'm going to cover up this one. Then I'm going to cover up the old Smoky.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then we've got Am and I are going to get finger ones done for the wedding.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Aww.
But see, that's authentic, right? That's authentic. That's those stand out for you, and that stands for your history, and that's why I said I can't always decide what I want to do. I mean, I see it, I appreciate it, I like it. As I said, Dwayne Johnson, I like his tattoo with the tribal thing, right? That one really stands out for me. LL Cool J, he's got a nice tattoo that he has on his full out arm that he got as a microphone. But if you look up LL Cool J and you see it on his arm, it starts down by his wrist with a mic cord. It wraps around and it comes all the way up. And he's got a very nice, clean design on that. So there's tattoos out there that I see and that was original when he got his, and that's the whole thing, is trying to be original in this day and age instead of trying to get something a little bit more generic, or if it is, it has to have that meaning to you. So that's what it is. And I got so many varied interests, from comic books to wrestling to my own thoughts.
Like when I was younger, I wanted to get
I think you should tattoo flames.
Like Bam Bam Bigelow?
Yes.
Well, I am hot-headed at times, so that would actually, people would say that makes sense.
Yo, I always wanted to get a rosary done around my neck, as if it's just lying down, just crisscrossing around, and then just a little cross next to my heart. Then I saw somebody have it, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't look how I thought it would look in my head.
And at any point in time, did you realize you're not Catholic?
I was like, yo, Chris was my homeboy, he was our prophet.
So here's my question: what would your wife say?
Hence, we didn't get it.
She never sees him naked, anyways. I think also too, if Thomas does have one, it's a butterfly tramp stamp just above the crack of his ass.
It's in my head.
And on that note, as he's getting pegged from behind.
Oh! And it flutters on his ass cheeks. Yo, this butterfly is flying. Oh, it's gonna fly more now. I so want to see our mind.
And on that note, I'm your host, Dave Sokolowski for Barry 3D Carter and Zelf Ali. Thank you again from Jaybird Digital Arts. There's a lot of good people out in the world, and if you can't find one, be one.